Our adventure today is along the Yukon River in the fabled Yukon Flats. The Yukon River is one of the greatest rivers of the world. It rambles through the heart of this enormous refuge, the Yukon Flats, a wetland basin of more than 40,000 shallow lakes, ponds, and sloughs. The Yukon Flats is celebrated as a cradle for millions of nesting waterfowl and other migratory birds that come here each spring. Scaup, pintails, scoters, wigeons breed here, as do canvasbacks. In September, these birds gather on the refuge's fertile lakes before taking wing to continue their migratory journeys. The productive wetlands nourish moose, bear, furbearers of all kinds, and fish, as well as the Athabascan people of the Yukon Flats who have lived in harmony with the wildlife here for thousands of years. By the way, if you want to get to the flats, the only other way than coming here vicariously by the internet is to come by air or by boat or by dog sled. There's no other good way in. There are three major topographic features in the Yukon Flats. The flats are at the center, the surrounding uplands, and the encircling highlands. The Yukon Flats themselves consist of 6.5 million acres, consisting of mostly flat to undulating lowlands dotted with shallow lakes, sloughs, and meandering and braided streams. Elevation is about 300 feet in the west and 600 to 900 feet in the north and east. The Yukon River is the principal drainage, dropping only 200 feet in elevation in 300 miles as it meanders across the Yukon Flats. The lower stretches of the Yukon's tributaries are intricately braided streams with meandering channels swelling in flood stage to cover vast areas. Surrounding this are the uplands, consisting of river terraces, alluvial fans, and floodplain deposits that rest on bedrock. It's gently rolling. Elevations don't exceed 1,200 to 1,300 feet. Encircling the entire area are the highlands and mountains. The Porcupine Plateau, an area of low ridges and gentle slopes and rounded to flat summits, lies along the northern and eastern boundary of the refuge. Elevations reach to 2,500 feet. The Chandeleur, Shenyek, and Colleen rivers drain the northern portion of the plateau. The Black and Little Black rivers, which originate in the Olgivie Mountains southwest of the refuge, drain the area south of the Porcupine River. Along the western boundary of the refuge are the Hodzana Highlands, an area of 4,000-foot ridges drained by the Hadwinzik, Hodzana, and Dal rivers. The eastern Brooks Range lies north of the Hodzana Highlands in the Porcupine Plateau and is north of the refuge boundary. Bounding the Yukon Flats to the south are the Yukon Tanana Uplands, of which the White and Crazy Mountains are the northern extensions. Summits in the White and Crazy Mountains range from 3,000 to 4,000 feet in elevation. Birch and Beaver Creeks are the major drainages on the northern sides of the mountains. There is a great diversity and abundance of wildlife species in the refuge. More than 150 species of birds dominate the landscape during spring and summer. The thousands of ponds and lakes distributed across the refuge provide breeding habitat for a variety of water birds, including ducks, loons, geese, swans, and shorebirds. Of national and international significance are the waterfowl that travel to the Yukon Flats from 11 foreign countries, 8 Canadian provinces, and 43 of the state. The refuge hosts as many as 2 million ducks annually and supports the highest breeding densities in Alaska. Most of the canvasback ducks that nest in Alaska do so on the Yukon Flats. Songbirds breed and nest throughout the refuge. Moose are found in relatively low numbers throughout the refuge. In winter, they congregate in the Yukon River Valley, where they find shelter and food. In summer, they are found dispersed throughout the refuge, typically near ponds and marshes. Caribou and sheep are found in low densities in the upland region at the edge of the refuge. Black and grizzly bears occur throughout the refuge, with the more abundant black bears found primarily in the forested lowlands. Wolves are also an important component of the system, and they are found throughout the refuge. Furbearer resources include beaver, fox, lynx, marten, muskrats, otter, weasel, and wolverine. There are more than 18 species of fish on the refuge, including salmon that pass through the refuge, Only one amphibian, the wood frog, is found on the refuge. This small frog, averaging 2.5 inches long, inhabits a variety of habitats but is commonly found along the shorelines. It hibernates in shallow depressions in the upper layer of the previous year's dead vegetation. The wood frog is able to survive winter cold by increasing the glucose stored in the cell fluids. The glucose acts as an antifreeze and prevents skin cells from freezing. There are no reptiles at all found on the refuge.